Ojo, for real, I'm shocked.
Mama. Kucha, enda vizuri.
Karibu Kasto.
Kwani leo umeleta buffet?
Tuweke nyama sefil.
Wewe sijui unaitwa mama nani, sijui mama nje.
Kuna vyombo ulinipatia?
Mukaka tafadhali, utachapa mama ya wenewe nikiwa hapa. Wacha niando hii kesi.
You're just in time for the Sunday Express. A warm welcome. Thousands of learners across the country have just sat the Kenya Primary School Education Assessment KBC and the Kenya Junior Secondary Transition Assessment KGSTEA under the competency-based curriculum education system. Today we take a closer look at what these exams mean for students, the new learning pathways they unlock, and what parents need to know to support their children through this new era of education. Joining me later in the bulletin to discuss this is Dr. Livingstone Makori, a global human development and career development expert. Stay tuned. Here is what's coming up. Who killed Manyuki Secondary School principal? Teachers demand speedy investigations into the death of Simon Isiaho.
Kwa hivyo kila mtu iko na bunduki. Tafadhali my friends, mapema asubuhi rudisha bunduki. Hakuna mwananchi atakuwa na bunduki. Wewe kama unataka kuchunga ng'ombe, tafuta fimbo.
Your time is up. President Ruto directs those holding illegal firearms to surrender them to the authorities. And the unquenched thirst. A section of residents in Isiolo, Marsabit and Samburu still walking for miles in search of the commodity. A warm welcome once again. My name is Mariambo, and on the sign language is Byron Abuli. I'm sitting in for my colleague, that is Regina Manyara. We kick off with this story where the Kenya Secondary School Heads Association has called for speedy investigations into the disappearance and subsequent death of Simon Isiaho, the principal of Munyoki PAG Secondary School in Lugari, Kakamega County. They have threatened to disrupt the ongoing Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education KCSE examinations if investigations do not unravel the circumstances surrounding the principal's death. The body of the principal, who had been reported missing, was found floating on River Kipkaren on Saturday.
The search for Munyuki PAG Secondary School Principal Simon Isiaho ended in tragedy after his body was found in River Kipkaren early Saturday. The retrieval of his body from the river threw the area residents into a state of anger, shock and mourning, with questions abound as to what might have transpired. Officials from the Kenya Secondary School Heads Association are now demanding swift investigations.
If the sub-county is not able to do its work, We are demanding that the director of a criminal investigation at the headquarters must send a neutral team to ensure that the truth and the perpetrators of this case are brought to book.
If we cannot be protected, then we will not teach. It is very dangerous for a teacher to be exposed to that extent up to being murdered in such an awkward way.
They have announced plans to hold massive demonstrations on Monday, demanding justice for the slain principal.
We have learned that in the previous past, some of our principals and teachers in a Lugari constituency have been intimidated by politicians.
What is this that he had done that he deserved this?
It was a very undignified death, and we are demanding justice for that. We are saying as a union, if this investigation, if the perpetrators are not brought to book, by Monday, the teachers of Punyuki will not go, by January, the teachers of Punyuki will not go back to school.
They have also called for enhanced security for teachers, saying that national examination papers should be delivered directly to schools to prevent similar incidents in the future.
Tunataka kupendekeza kwamba walimu wakuu wapewe ulinzi, na katika ulinzi waweze kupewa bunduki zile ambazo tutakuwa tukitumia hapo ili kuweza kujihami sisi wenyewe, kwa vile tumegundua kwamba tuko na maadui wengi.
The deceased was last seen alive on Monday, the 3rd of November 2025. He was reportedly heading to collect KCSE examination papers. His car was later found crushed, but the principal's body was not at the scene of the accident. Nancy Okware, Sunday Express.
President William Ruto has directed all Kenyans in possession of illegal firearms to surrender them to the relevant authorities in the coming days. Speaking in Baragoi's Samburu County, the head of state noted that those firearms have caused nothing but death, destruction and pain, warning that the government will not hesitate to use the necessary machinery and security personnel at its disposal to guarantee necessary security to the lives and properties of all Kenyans. Abdiaziz Hashim has the details of this story.
A day after gracing the Ma Cultural Festival in Kajiado County, President William Ruto alongside government officials and leaders from the Ma region joined faithfuls at the ACK All Saints Pro Cathedral Church, Maralal, Samburu County.
Kwa hivyo kila mtu iko na bunduki, tafadhali my friends, mapema asubuhi rudisha bunduki. Hakuna mwananchi atakuwa na bunduki. Wewe kama unataka kuchunga ng'ombe, tafuta fimbo, enda chunga ng'ombe. Bunduki wachana naye.
The head of state noted that those firearms have caused nothing but death and destruction among Kenyans.
Iko bunduki inachunga ng'ombe. Bunduki inaua watu, bunduki inaua wanyama, bunduki inaua watoto, bunduki inaua kina mama, inamaliza wazee, inatuletea wajane, inatuletea mayatima. Hiyo maneno tumesema no. Kila mwananchi achunge mali yake na fimbo. Watoto waende shule. Ama namna gani? Kama unataka mambo ya bunduki, tunaajiri police next week. Wewe kuja tukuajiri kwa police, uende ushike bunduki, uendelee na hiyo kazi. Ama namna gani?
The president further put on notice criminal elements in Samburu County who steal livestock and terrorize women and children in the region.
Mambo ya kuleta maafa hii dunia, mambo ya kukosesha watoto wetu masomo, kuleta wajane na mayatima, kuharibu usalama. Serikali ya Kenya tutasimama kidete. Wale watu nilituma siku ile wako njiani tena. Waambie hao watu waanze kufunga safari waanze kutembea.
Na kanisa wanalia na kuomba mambo ya usalama. I want to thank you and your government kwa sababu saa hizi mambo yametulia. We are not there, but at least there are some steps that have been taken that watu wanaishi kwa amani.
The president also called out individuals that paint Kenya in a bad light.
I see many people who don't believe in our country. I see many people who are negative about Kenya. I see many people who confess negative things about our country. Kama wewe ni kiongozi katika taifa letu la Kenya na huamini nchi hii, huna maono ya maana yeyote, huna mipango yeyote ya kubadilisha Kenya.
2027 succession politics also took center stage.
your goal of taking Kenya to become a first world nation, you will not walk that journey alone. The Man Nation will walk with you.
Na kwa kweli yale ambayo umefanya kwa hii wakati mfupi sana, sisi kama jamii ya Wamasai umetufanyia mengi sana.
By the time we go to Achas, within this county, we shall have 1,500 units for affordable housing. The amount of money we will spend will be about 1.5 billion. Na hiyo ni kiojo tu ni ya kwanza.
The head of state assured Kenyans that he has every intention to fulfill all his pre-election pledges. He also laid the foundation stone for Baragoi Modern Market in Samburu County, as he is expected to launch key projects in the county on Monday. Abdiaziz Hashim for Sunday Express.
Thank you, Abdiaziz. Now to matters politics, where Energy Cabinet Secretary and member of the Orange Democratic Movement Party, Opiyo Wandayi, has faulted recent comments by a section of the party leadership that claimed that the ODM members serving in the Kenya Kwanza government cannot speak for the party. Wandayi says he, alongside Hassan Joho, John Mbadi and Wycliffe Oparanya, among others, remain senior members of the Orange Party and must give guidance despite their current roles in the government. Meanwhile, the United Green Movement UGM presidential aspirant, that is David Maraga, says ending corruption will be his priority if elected president in 2027. Wycliffe Okech with more on tonight's Political Watch Beat.
Party Secretary General Edwin Sifuna maintains that the ODM-UDA MOU was meant to last until 2027. A section of the membership says the broad-based arrangement must transcend 2027 for the unity and stability of the country. Energy Cabinet Secretary Opiyo Wandayi, who is also a life member of the ODM party, says the Orange Party outfit is better off in the William Ruto-led government than in the opposition.
Lazima tukumbuke ya kwamba Baba Raila Amolo Odinga alituonyesha barabara kabla yake duniani. Na akatueleza sisi viongozi kutoka eneo hili ya kwamba tufanye kazi pamoja na Mheshimiwa Rais Ruto.
Speaking at a church in Kisumu, Wandayi says he, along with the ODM members serving in the government, must give political and leadership guidance in the fulfillment of the late Raila's wish.
It is our duty and responsibility as leaders from this community to guide our people, even as we wait for the decision of the party.
Meanwhile, former Chief Justice, who is also the United Green Movement presidential aspirant, David Maraga, says ending corruption will be his priority if elected president in 2027, noting that graft is the biggest impediment to service delivery and development in the country.
I am not going to steal from the people of Kenya. I have not taken a bribe in my life. I can't take a bribe when I have retired. Trust me, I will take care of the resources for the good of this nation.
Elsewhere, former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has faulted the government's handling of education matters in the country, accusing the William Ruto-led administration of eroding the gains the country has made under the preceding administrations.
Mambo ya primary imeharibika. Mambo ya SHA haifanyi kazi. Biashara zimesimama. Na mimi nasikia Ruto akisema ati yako na mpango ati ya kufanya Kenya to be a first world country.
His sentiments were echoed by the Jubilee Deputy Party Leader Fred Matiang'i.
About the reduction of capitation to schools, especially day schools. By the time we left the government, we had closed the 22,000 mark. Now you're reducing it by by nearly 50%. You are now talking about 12,000. Obviously, when schools open in January, the kids who are going to day schools are going to have to pay fees. Who's going to pay the fees?
However, Mount Kenya politicians allied to the government have pledged to continue uniting the region and calling on residents to back the William Ruto-led administration. Led by Kiambaa Member of Parliament Njuguna Kawanjiku, they say they will not be intimidated by the opposition, saying they are firmly in government and cannot afford to look elsewhere.
President ametupatia TVET hatukuwa nayo. Tuko na KMTC na jengo pale Karori ya more than 200 million. Kwa hivyo sisi mkiona tumejipanga hapo nyuma ya William Ruto, sisi wajinga. Tunajua ile kitu tunafaa.
Hakuna mtu ako na ushawishi kwa akili za Wakenya. Wakenya wataweza kujichagulia viongozi wao na wataangalia utendakazi ya
For Sunday Express, I am Wycliffe Okech.
Somalia has made history by participating for the first time in the East African Community Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises Trade Fair, which officially kicked off today at the Uhuru Gardens in Nairobi. Speaking during the Somalia Day at the 25th EAC MSMEs Trade Fair, Somalia's Agriculture and Irrigation Minister Mohamed Abdi Hayer Maraye said the country is keen on removing barriers that have hindered trade and investment, including insecurity and tariff restrictions.
Sunday marked a significant start to the regional expo, with Somalia becoming the first nation to officially showcase its innovation, products and business potential at the 25th EAC MSMEs Trade Fair.
The Day of Somalia, which started to this exhibition of the East African community. So it's a great day for Somalia, it's a great day for Somali business communities.
Speaking at Uhuru Gardens in Nairobi, Somalia's Agriculture and Irrigation Minister Mohamed Abdi Hayer Maraye said the country's participation signals a new era of cooperation, peace and shared prosperity within the region.
We are glad how the Somali businesses are integrating in the East African sister nations.
He pledged that Somalia will eliminate barriers that have hindered trade and investment, including insecurity and tariff restrictions. He added that Somalia is already employing thousands of East Africans and remains open to deeper trade partnership with its neighbors.
Somalia is a very, very, very rich country in a very strategic location, which connects East Africa to the Middle East, the most demanding market in the agricultural products and the products.
His sentiments were echoed by Principal Secretary for Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises Development, Susan Mangeni, who encouraged local traders to partner with Somali entrepreneurs to explore the vast potential in the Horn of Africa.
And we saw what they had today, and this is really very promising because it's the newest on the block, and if the day looks like this, it seems in the next 10 days to come, we are going to see quite a lot and quite impressive display.
The piece revealed that the International Trade Center will officially open its regional office in Nairobi this week, creating a direct channel for local MSMEs to access global markets.
Again, we are looking at 300 million population market. So we are not just doing this in vain. We are doing this because we know we have a huge market that MSMEs across the member states, the 8 member states, have an opportunity to interact, exchange contact, and then establish, networks that can enable them now enhance the cross-border trade.
Joseph Wahungu for Sunday Express.
Well, and that story by Joseph Wakungu brings us to our first break of the bulletin. We'll be back with much more, including sports. Stay tuned.
Dr. Chung, say it after me. Nina Kupenda.
Na Kupenda! Na Kupenda! Na Kupenda! Wee wee!
Nakupenda. Come on, sit down.
You know how the plan for that came into being? 90 times our team was denied. More than 90 times. 3 of us were fired.
Please don't think too much of it.
Lea Premium Flour, nurturing the world. Available in a store near you.
But didn't you say he was dying?
Shh, shut up. Don't you even dare mention it to them.
I knew very well that this urgency to come to work here in Puebla has something to do with a woman. How can you do something like this to Daniela?
I was in the midst of the fire, flames and smoke.
All I could think about was you.
Anyway, I'm very flattered. Because even if I'm an older married woman to you, you think that there is still someone who is attracted to me. Thank you.
Back, we continue with the news where women and children across Marsabit, Isiolo and Samburu still have to walk for kilometers in search of water. Now, the wells that still hold water are shallow and crowded, a single source serving hundreds of people and their livestock. Sometimes clouds gather on the horizon, raising their hopes of rain only to vanish as quickly as they appear. Tonight, in Drought Diaries, Ben Chumba takes us to the heart of northern Kenya, where survival is measured in sips of water.
Before the sun rises, the women of North Horr, children and donkeys begin their journey, chasing what the rest of the world probably takes for granted: water. Bare feet pound the earth, yellow jerrycans clatter on donkeys' backs. They are determined to continue. By sunrise, they have already walked 5 kilometers. By midday, they have covered 10. Every step is a reminder that here, water is not found, it is fought for.
Unaenda kutoka asubuhi mpaka jioni, unarudi kwa watoto wakati wameisha, hakuna kiu, wanae njaa, hawajapata kitu ya kupikia chakula, ile maji unaleta tena inaharisha hawa.
Unaweza enda masaa kama jioni ukose juu hiyo watumizi ama wale wanatumia maji ni wengi sana.
At the end of the long walk lies not relief but disappointment.
Ukifika tena huko unajua ni ball moja tu, sasa tunategemea wote na wanyama watu kutumia, so unakuta huko unapenda unaingia line mrefu sana. Kama sasa wale tu at least wako karibu na hapo au na shota asubuhi, so tena ikifika time nyingine wanyama wanakunywa, so baadaye unakuta hata unaweza poteza kama 1 hour ukiongoja hiyo maji hiyo line.
They say water is life, and for residents here, water is something they have to chase every day. For some families, they have to walk up to 10 kilometers every day just to find it. And when they do, the water is salty. Too salty for the children, and sometimes even for the animals. Sometimes clouds gather on the horizon, heavy and promising, but they vanish as quickly as they appear. The earth waits, so do the families, watching, walking, hoping, only to return with empty jerrycans and salt-laden water.
Wakati mvua inanyesha maji ya tope ndio tunakunywa, wakati tunasema maji mzuri ndio tunakunywa. Wakati tunaenda kuleta ile chumvi, hakuna chakula inabika, ni chumvi saa yote watu na hara. Hakuna siku mtu hapana mgonjwa, homa, nini, kila kitu tunapata kwa sababu hiyo maji.
Balls zilikuwa imeshimbwa na projects na lakini nyingine kuka broken down kwa sababu tena maji ile inapatikana ni chumvi. So tena ile chumvi unajua inaharibu your pipes. Ina rust mpaka inaharibika.
At night, hyenas come to drink from the same troughs where women fetch water by day.
Hapa tu kwa laga tuna simba tu kidogo kidogo chemchemi tunatumia hiyo ambaye tunakunywa na pamoja na fisi. Usiku fisi, asubuhi sisi tunaamukia.
When thirst becomes unbearable, even fear takes a backseat. But that salty water, heavy with minerals, is slowly killing them. Kidney complications are rising among young people, some as young as 18.
Moja alikuwa tamefariki, so wawili wako hospitali kwa sababu ya dialysis. Hii yote imeletwa na chumvi ya maji ya chumvi hapo. So tunasaidia, tunaomba serikali na washikadau wengine watusaidie kutoa chumvi.
The government has promised to install filtration systems, but the cost is high and the wait even longer.
Right now, North Technical Training Institute has such a system. At least now people can access safe drinking water. You know, it is a process, something that step by step, at least in future, every water source will have the reverse osmosis mechanism.
Until then, the people of North Horr will keep walking one jerrycan at a time across the desert, with the hope that somewhere, somehow, in these dry plains, they will quench their thirst. Ben Chumba, Sunday Express.
Thank you, Ben Chumba, for that report, highlighting the struggles the residents of northern Kenya go through just to get a sip of water. We continue where a section of pastoral communities in Mandera County is now turning to crop farming away from the traditional livestock keeping owing to the recurrent drought in the region. A spot check by Channel One has established that communities living along River Dawa that marks the border between Kenya and Ethiopia have adopted small-scale farming through irrigation, which has not only improved their economic status but helped the county to be food secure. The county government has pumped 2 billion shillings in the agricultural sector in the last 3 years.
In the arid landscapes of Mandera County, pastoralism has been the economic backbone for generations. But with the changing weather patterns that comes with unpredictable rains, longer dry spells and shrinking pasture, many families have now been forced to diversify. Majority of pastoralists are now adopting crop farming. Communities living along River Dawa in Mandera County have embraced irrigation to sustain not only their livelihood but also making the county food secure.
We were able to improve during the past 3 years area under irrigation from 6,500 hectares to 10,500 hectares.
In Aresa area of Khalalio sub-county, we meet these farmers busy tending to their crops. Mzee Nur Haj has been in this farm for years now, and the efforts are rewarding.
Hii ni maragwe. Hii ni mhindi. Mungu anasaidia sisi, lakini nguvu yetu ndio sisi tunafanya kazi hii.
My role play is actually to enhance the farmers' capacity building towards their production. That is, whenever there is an outbreak of an insect or of a disease, to prescribe for them the suitable chemicals that are used to control these.
A young man, Suleiman Dakane, is among the farmers.
I don't want an office job because nimeshapata job. This one is enough for me. When I do an office job, it is good to think deeply. As an office job, he normally get 50,000 Kenyan shillings per month. And as I hear, I normally get more than 50K.
Though the farms are 100% community-owned, the county government has been the force behind the initiative and in the last 3 years has pumped 2 million shillings to the agricultural sector.
County government also is investing on these people through seedlings, through seeds, through farm inputs, through fertilizers, through other assistance the government can be able to get, and other extension services, like the farmers are also trained and advised by the Department of Agriculture.
The area under crop farming in the entire Mandera County is close to 18%.
Not only Mandera Town, but in Mandera County. The number of the registered farms that currently we have is about 113,000 and some hundreds.
Where the county is susceptible to drought owing to the unpredictable rain, which in turn takes a toll on the main areas of livelihood, that is livestock, Mandera County government embarked on fodder farming and production using the tapped River Dawa waters. The fodder comes in handy during the dry season.
In terms of fodder production, we have almost 100 acres of Sudan grass as a fodder to enhance our feed supplement to our livestock within Mandera County, with a total of 58,000 bales stored and preserved, ready for responding to drought situation.
Although the transition from pastoralism to crop farming is not a walk in the park, limited and reliable water remain a major hurdle. The seasonal River Dawa flows for only 9 months and then dries up until another good rainy season.
Now, the Kenya National Private Sector Workers Union is urging the government and other agencies to work together in coming up with policies and reforms to improve the private security sector in the country. The union's National General Secretary Isaac Adabwa further encouraged the security guards to advance their academic qualifications for better prospects in their career.
If you work hard and you have a framework, God can also promote you from level A to P, just like police. We have corporal, sergeant, and so forth. Why not the cadets? Why not the cadets as a way of motivation? They begin from a lower level to a higher level in terms of training, skills, and knowledge.
A look at matters health now, where counties in the coastal region are recording high prevalence of sickle cell disease, an inherited blood disorder which affects hemoglobin, the protein that carries oxygen throughout the body. In this story, we tell you of some of the mitigation measures that are being adopted by the health stakeholders in Kilifi to address a condition which has seen the Kilifi County Referral Hospital recording up to 1,300 cases annually.
Kilifi County Referral Hospital. Andrew Nzombo Charu, together with his wife, have traveled from Watamu to bring their 2 children who suffer sickle cell anemia. Though Charo and his wife have no history of the disease in their families, their 2 children have since been diagnosed with the disease, which has been quite a struggle for the couple.
Alikuwa akicomplain kuhusu viungo, maumivu makali, mara mwili pia unakuwa na joto jingi. So nikampeleka katika hospitali ya rufaa ya Malindi. Akafanywa vipimo, lakini kule haikuthibitishiwa kama ni selemundu. Wakanirifaa nije Kilifi, Cambridge, ndo wakabainisha kwamba ni selemundu.
Watching his 2 children suffer from the pain of the disease has been emotionally draining for them.
Imekuwa safari ngumu sana kwa sababu mtoto wangu wa kwanza kabla hii dawa kupatikana hydrosurea, alikuwa anakaa kama muda wa wiki moja tu, baada wiki nyingine analazwa.
Kadzo Katana from Bomani, Kilifi South Sub-County, has walked a similar journey for 39 years. Her story has been one of resilience.
Maumivu kwa wingi yalikuwa kwa wakati wa utoto. Usafiri kwetu Bomani kulikuwa kuna shida. Sasa mimi nilibebwa mgongoni mpaka miaka 10. After hiyo 18 niliishi maisha bila dawa miaka 10. So ndo nikaletwa Cambridge kufanywa kipimo cha selimundu. Ndo hapo ikajulikana kwani ni sickle cell.
Sickle cell disease is a group of inherited blood disorders characterized by the production of abnormal hemoglobin, leading to misshaped red blood cells that can cause severe health complications. The counties of Kilifi, Kwale and Tana River in Kenya have an especially high disease burden.
Sehemu ambazo zilikuwa zimeathirika na malaria ndizo sehemu nyingi ambazo ziko na hizo sickle cell, kwa sababu zile malaria parasites zilienda tatiza na ile cell ya damu ile nyekundu, chembe nyekundu.
Kilifi County Non-Communicable Disease Coordinator John Moss said the county, alongside other partners, have deployed significant resources and manpower to fight the chronic disease, which, if not properly managed, kills children born with the disease before their 5th birthday.
A lot of the children we started off with are now in their teenage years. So we actually have a larger cohort of adolescent patients, which for us is a success because most of these children were thought to die even before the age of 5. So we're having better survival of the patients.
The Ministry of Health and other partners are also implementing different programs in 17 sickle cell endemic counties.
We have several programs that support sickle cell anemia patients. As we provide the clinical service, we're also able to do research, and our research is looking at just describing the disease in this population.
Aside from running 2 clinics for pediatrics and adult sickle cell patients, where they see some 1,300 patients annually, Cambridge Center for Geographic Medicine also is conducting research on the disease in the area.
Once the individual is confirmed to have sickle cell anemia, we enroll them into the clinic. Currently see about 1,300 patients a year, of which about 700 of them regularly come back to the clinic. And so the repeat visits are normally every 3 months. And when they come in, we just ensure that, especially at entry level, that they get all their vaccinations.
According to the World Health Organization, approximately 1,000 children are born with sickle cell disease every day in Africa. For KBC Channel 1, I am Teresa Mutai.
Thank you, Teresa Mutai, for that report. And that report takes us to our interview segment. As earlier alluded to, the KPSEA and the KGSTE examinations were recently taken by learners across the country. And how different is it from the KCSE and all that? And so, leadership and governance scholar and certified career analyst and life purpose coach, Dr. Makori, is a globally recognized professional dedicated to empowering individuals and organizations to achieve employability and embrace leadership and live with a purpose. Well, he's here to share insights on guiding learners through CBE. Welcome to the program, Dr. Makori.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. Yeah.
Asante sana for coming into the studio. And so KPSEA and KGSTE national examinations took place.
Yeah,
KCSE definitely still going on right now. We'll be talking about that. But before we even get to understand, you know, how KGSTE and KPSEA differs from KCSE or the 844 system, I just want to take you a little bit back for some of us who probably do not have the little ones at home and understand what CBE is all about.
Yeah, sure.
The structure of CBE, first and foremost. How is the structure of CBE different from the 844 system?
Thank you very much. The government of Kenya is going through transition. The world is going through transition, and indeed the government of Kenya. Now we have changed from the 844 system to 2663 system of education, which is called the competence-based education system. So in this competence-based education system, we are looking at key things. One, how do we integrate ICT to the education system? Number two, the role of a parent and the community in nurturing a professional. Then number three, again, we look at how do we bring a wholesome individual. The role of education globally, and even in Kenya, is to bring up a professional who is able to be useful to themselves, the community, and the world. So this system looks at all round the risk development of a professional so that they become effective in what they do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we get into the nitty-gritty of CBE in terms of examinations and all that.
Yeah.
How has that transition been? You know, KCSE was more of a examination, can I say, oriented. You know, CBC is a bit different from what I understand. It's more of a skills and competency of the learners. How has that changed in terms of the subject approach?
Thank you very much. So in CBE, we don't talk about subject, we talk about learning areas. So there's been a change from a mindset from where we used to talk about subjects to what are the learning areas. So if you look at the way these assessments are done, and again not exams, assessments are being done through a wide array of approaches. We have around 9 assessments before a child goes to university. So through these assessments, then the child is able to be known what are their strong points, what do they like to do, then they are able to grow through that area. So we are used to School X was #1 and celebrations along the road. We may not be able to see that currently because now we are looking at not examination-based, but assessments, abilities, skills, values, and integration of technology in our studies. That's the big difference.
Yeah, you know, when you talk about we no longer see the celebrations and all that, at some point people were arguing and wondering, does it mean that there's no competition anymore because the students are not being examined? Or how do they determine, away from, you know, competencies or the skills of individual learners? How is that competition being fostered?
Good. There's competition everywhere. And again, in each and every competition, whether there's competition or not, there's somebody who has a better skill than another. So through these assessments, you are able to determine who is better than another. And the ways of assessment meets expectation, exceeds expectation, shows you who are these learners who have been able to exceed expectation.
So is that how the transition, like KBC and the KGSTER, is that how they are ranking them?
Yes, that's how
in
they
terms
rank
of
them.
exceed expectations,
Meet
and all
expectation, below expectation.
Okay.
Yes.
So we no longer have the grading? A, B, C, no?
A, B, C, D, no, currently. Yeah.
Okay. So now, the learners have just sat the KBC and KGSTER, very calm, no much of, you know, when KCSE, when students were going to do KCSE or KCP, I mean, the whole country would be knowing that KCP.
We were even washing our desks and all that, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they have career pathways.
Sure.
A little bit different from the 844 system, because with the 844 system, definitely you reach standard 8 and then you went to Form 1 up to Form 4.
Yes.
But now the students are doing, can I say, two national examinations, at least before they finish their, you know, primary and secondary school levels.
Yeah.
So there is KBC, which is done in, is it grade 6?
Grade 6, yes.
Grade 6.
Yeah.
So then they go into grade 7 and grade 8.
Then it's another in the grade 9 now.
And then KGSTER is where now they go into grade 11 and grade 12.
Yeah.
So their career pathways, could you just enlighten us what these career pathways are?
Yeah.
And what does that mean? Because with the 844 system, the way I understand it, then all of us would do all the subjects. If the sciences, they were mandatory. But it's a bit different for this particular curriculum.
Yeah, a little bit different from these learning areas. And now we are looking at competencies. Where am I competent at? The world of tomorrow and today is a world of competencies, not really about grades, competencies. So how the CBE has been structured is that when you move to senior secondary school, those who have now done the Kenya Junior Secondary School examination, they'll be moving to senior secondary. In senior secondary, they have pathways and tracks to choose from. So we have 3 pathways. We have sports, arts and sports science. We have humanities and social. Then we have STEM, which is science, mathematics, and engineering. In between here, like now in STEM, we have those who will do pure sciences, those who will be able to do applied sciences and technical sciences. So that one now brings the whole picture around the structure of the program. If I'm in arts and sports, I'll be able to do either arts or I do sports science. If I'm in the area of social sciences, then I'll either go to language and literature or I do business education, business and literature. So there's business education, I mean. So those now brings the whole of that organization of the system.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in this case, after the learners have done the KBC and now KGSTER, what then is the role of the parents? What are they supposed to know about this? Because then, like I said, 844 system, it was like you do all the subjects.
Sure.
And then you could actually venture into any of the careers that, for example, if you passed sciences and probably you wanted to be an arts, oriented, person, you can still change your mind and actually do the STEM or sciences.
Sure.
How does that differ and what should parents know?
So in the 844 system, you had 8 subjects. Those could do 7 or 8. So you could do 2 sciences, maths, English, Kiswahili, and then probably do business studies, history, geography. Meaning if you didn't pass in sciences, you have an opportunity to go to the arts. And that's how most people found themselves in arts. In this case now, these learning areas are now predefined that you need to know, where am I going to? Am I an arts person? Then I focus on those arts subjects. I find it quite a unique area for most of the parents and most of the community members, because you need to understand then where does the child need to be before they go to those learning areas. So this now brings a bit of a complication. And when you look at the CBE curriculum, the role of a parent and community is highly integrated. One of the things you learn, even among the CBC parents today, they'll be doing a lot of exercise with their children. Again, those ones helps them to monitor and understand, what is my child good at? When we move to this area we call, now when they move to the senior secondary, they'll be doing 7 learning areas, which is English, there's a bit of mathematics basic, they'll also be doing Kiswahili or Kenya Sign Language, and then we have community learning and physical education. Community learning now brings the role of everyone, including stakeholders in education. How do they support this young person who wants to be a nurse? Before they make that decision to do applied sciences or pure sciences, then they need to understand, how does the environment work? So this area, learning area, allows them to integrate learning with the community service. We're looking at areas like job shadow program, where that young child who wants to be a news anchor needs to come and sit with you, see how you do your work, and probably say, is this the thing I want to do? Now, this calls for everyone to even adopt a child and say, this child wants to become a news anchor. How do I give them opportunities to learn what I do today? So that when they make that decision, because if they make that decision and they know the right course, probably then their future may be quite challenging at the end of it, moving to another area. Yeah.
So does it suffice to say sometimes, I mean, with the CBE then, it locks the child into a particular area? That means they can never change. If you're probably in arts and sports, then that means you have to focus just on that area, because then the universities are also, can I say, structured in that way. So how easy is it for them to transition into this higher education, level in terms of these career pathways? Have we seen the structure change within the universities, or all universities are able to absorb these students, whether I'm going to do sports or I'm going to do STEM? Yeah.
You see, even in our senior secondary schools, we have 2 levels of senior secondary schools. We have the triple specialization, where they are teaching maths, science and sports science. Then others are teaching STEM. Then there are those who teach STEM only and arts and sports science, those who teach STEM and the other specialization. So we have 3 levels of even high school. Wherever I go to a high school, I'll go to a high school which doesn't teach arts and sports. So if I wanted to be in arts and sports, then I have to choose that school, because that's where I'll build my understanding. If I wanted to be in arts and humanities, I wanted to be in banking, business related, then I have to go to a school that teaches that. There's a sort of locking in the process, but I think it's also an opportunity to open our eyes and say, how do we structure our learners? How do we help them to make early decisions? Most career decisions are planned. They are not, you don't jump to a career decision. If a career decision is planned, career decisions, then they are able to transition into the right career.
And I mean, just like you said, can I say a grade 11 and 12 is what we used to call Form 3 and Form 4.
Form 3 and Form 4,
and Form 4, and that means now they're going into secondary school. So the grade 9 and 10 who have done the examinations are now moving to secondary school, because then grade 8 and 9 are still domiciled within the primary school. And so choosing of those subjects is important for the parents to know, like, as they move into high school, then that means they have to choose, or they have to go to schools that are offering the career pathways that they but then the global workforce is also changing. So the traditional careers, doctors, engineers, lawyers are still there, but there is can I say a plethora of career choices. Gen Zs, or the young generation right now, a lot of them do not really believe in traditional, can I say, careers, employment, going to the offices and all that. How should can I say the government, work with the market, can I say the industry, to ensure that they're churning out professionals who are going to be relevant in this changing workforce?
I think that's now what the big discussion is around. How do we do it? Because responding from 844 to CBE is a good step, I can tell you that. albeit some resource constraints within a country to run the most quite expensive system of education, it's a good response. If you look at the global education systems, whether you are in India, whether you are in America, they are all responding to how the world is creating employment.
Yes.
And Kenya is responding well. We'll talk about tools, and we have been shown ways of how do we even integrate ICT. One of them could be even live streaming, that children understand, I can learn through live streaming. Gamification. They may not be able to do the digital games done in other schools, but they can also develop their local games. So how then do we use our local resources to enable these people to develop into that digital economy? So jobs are changing. In the next few years, 2030, some of the roles that will be there, we don't know them now. They'll be created.
Yeah, and now we have AI.
We have AI
opening
changing
another
roles,
just, completely different pathways and all that. Now, as a career development coach, how do you then come in to assist the students and the parents in terms of, choosing their career paths and all that?
Thank you very much. The world of career development has also changed with AI. Now we are using AI. What makes one professional succeed in one area than another? And we have areas, things we look at. Personality. Personality is determined where do you succeed. Career interest, career motivators, your learning style, your emotional intelligence, which is developing, the future of work. When all those things are looked together, they bring out now a suitable profession for a role. Now, what we need to invest in is the Office of Career Services in our learning institutions. How do we enable those teachers to be able to detect this? How do they use technology to be able to determine how do I measure skills? How do I know the abilities, the personality? And how do I help the parent to be able to align the child to the future of their role? Yeah. So it will require a lot of stakeholder engagement, but science, again, is very important in this area, and the Office of Career Services in our learning institutions. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Dr. Livingstone Makori, their career development coach, just giving us insights in as far as CBE is concerned and the career pathways. But I just want to give you a few seconds for somebody watching and they're wondering how can they get in touch with you, because you're a career coach, and development, expert. How should they be able to get in touch with you?
Thank you very much. For the last 13 years, we have been running a social enterprise called Corporate Career Academy. And we have looked at the issues that are in the market. How do we support our teachers? So far, we have trained 480 teachers to be able to apply technology to guide learners and parents. Every December, and in this December, we are running a free scholarship program. Now this year focusing on senior secondary teachers. So any senior secondary teacher who is out there, go to the Corporate Career Academy website, apply for that training. Okay. We are able to provide assessment tools which they can use to test. We're also able to give them tools which they can use to test learners and be able to guide them on their career. So if they want to reach us, they go to Corporate Career Academy. We have a team of mentors, volunteers, who also search for these job opportunities for learners, help them to get integrated into the community in line with community service learning.
Asante sana, Dr. Makori. We'll be talking to Dr. Livingstone Makori. He's a career development coach and expert. So right about now, I want to take a break, and my colleague Bernardo Kumu is in studio just to bring you up to speed with what is happening in as far as sports is concerned. Bernard, over to you.
Thank you so much, Marie, and thank you for staying with us. It is indeed time for the latest from the field. And we begin with good news from Harare, where Kenya Morans were crowned champions of the Zambezi Rugby Sevens Challenge after beating host Zambezi Cheetahs 14-0 in the final of the tournament played earlier today in Harare, Zimbabwe. Now, after trialless first half on a rainy evening in Zimbabwe and the Cheetahs having committed a head tackle that saw their men reduced to 10, Morans ran riot in the final minutes, scoring 2 quick tries for 14-0 win. Morans got to the semis after thrashing Old Militonians 48-0 in the quarters, and then went on to beat Old Georgians 61-0 in the semis to book a final date against the Cheetahs. Zambia Impalas won the ladies' title after coming from behind to beat host Zimbabwe 17-12 in the ladies' final.
They're in again. The Kenyan Morans make it back-to-back tries, and they stretched it even further away. The line out is won by the Zambian Impala. And here's number 10. She's been really good throughout the tournament. She lets it off. What a pass. What a play. It's a foot race. Chiwoniso Mabika is chasing.
And record Kenyan Premier League champions Gor Mahia moved to the top of the Football Kenya Federation Premier League standings with an emphatic 2-0 win over reigning champions Kenya Police in a match that was played on Sunday afternoon at Nyayo. Meanwhile, Kakamega Homeboys registered their first draw of the season after being held to an 1-0 draw by Moranga Seal. Frederick Moki has the details of the FKF action today.
Felix Oluochimboya.
Gor Mahia continued their run of brilliance in the Football Kenya Federation Premier League as they faced reigning champions Kenya Police in their 7th league match on Sunday afternoon. Kogalo, who last time they faced the Police settled for a 1-1 draw on 22nd June this year, were on top form, leading 2-0 at halftime. The Green Army netted early on the 2nd minute through Felix Oluoch before Sharif Musa added a second in the 29th minute.
Sharif Musa Ramadan! SM7! Sharif Musa Sirengo Ramadan!
We start okay match, but then we was giving the gift to the opponent. Gift was taken, and from that things start to be wrong on the pitch. But in the opening minutes, it was just a few minutes opening.
As a matter of fact, to manage the game, we saw them coming in with long balls and stuff, but we weren't too worried about it at all. We managed to work it out as we wanted. In the first half, you know, we knew the weakness of the team.
In other results, KCB registered their first draw of the season after settling for a 1-1 draw with Bandari FC. Newbies APS Bomet FC drew 1-1 with Mathare United, while Kakamega Homeboys registered their first draw of the season after being held to a 1-1 draw by Moranga Seal. Shabana registered their third win in 8 matches after beating Ulinzi Stars 1-0.
Imekuwa ni fight nzuri. Then I think the players wamefuata instructions vile waliambiwa. Na nazasema pia nashukuru the technical bench kiangalia wamework sana the entire week. And nazasema I appreciate each and every effort yenye imefanywa na kila mtu ambaye amefanya siku ya leo tukapata pointi 3.
Tumekuwa tukisuasua, lakini cha msingi ni kuwahimiza wale vijana ambao wako hapa kwa sababu wana talanta waweze ku bring out the best out of them so that wanaweza kuirudisha hadhi ya timu mahali ambapo inafaa kuwa.
Frederick Muki for Sunday Express.
And Sebastian Ogier stormed to victory on Forum 8 Rally Japan on Sunday to ignite a 3-way fight for the 2025 FI World Rally Championship title, heading into the final leg to be held from the 26th to 29th of November in Saudi Arabia.
8-time world champion Sebastian Ogier fended off Toyota Gazoo Racing teammate and points leader Elfyn Evans through a rain-soaked final leg, winning Rally Japan by 11.6 seconds to close the gap to 3 points. Kalle Rovanpera's 6th place finish leaves him 24 points off the lead, ensuring all 3 Toyota drivers remain in contention, while Ott Tanak's faint hopes are now over. Evans began the day 6.5 seconds adrift and initially looked poised to strike back, edging the Frenchman by 0.8 seconds through the opening no-cutter test before Ogier reasserted control on the following stage at Lake Mikawako. Behind them, Hyundai's Adrian Fomo, running third overnight, slid off the road and into the trees, ripping a door from his I-20N Rally 1 and retiring soon after. His retirement promoted Sami Payari into a career-first podium position. M-Sport Ford's Gregor Munster took a career-best equaling 5th overall behind Tanak, with Rovanpera climbing to 6th after losing several minutes to suspension damage on Friday.
And definitely that story by Barkley on the ongoing World Rally Championship brings a camper to our edition today from the sports desk. But remember that a number of matches are played today, including the key match in English Premier League where Liverpool, of course, lost by 3-0 to Manchester City, match that has ended a couple of minutes ago. That result means that Manchester City moves to second position on the EPL table, just 4 points behind leaders Arsenal, who did draw 2-2 with Sunderland yesterday. That's it from me. Thank you so much for watching. Wishing you the best of the best week ahead. I'm Bernardo Kum. Back to Marie.
Thank you so much, Bernard, for that sports update. Just as Bernardo said, we've come to the end of Sunday Express tonight. My name is Mariambo, and helping me on the sign language was Byron Abule. Good night.
Tushinde.com. Cheza safe, cheza smart. Gambling is addictive, not for persons under the age of 18 years.
Dosi amelala, sukuma moja. Wewe pia ndio muoga. Ndio maana Master Demi alikupita. Demi haiko nipita bwana. Mimi najaza entry ticket zangu. Wewe hata unajua namba ya kusenda. Si ni star 419 has. Option. Ni Probox. Bwana finya hiyo kitu. Mfinye. Finya hiyo kitu. Mfinye. Finya hiyo kitu. Mfinye. Finya bwana.
Probox kwa star 419 hash option 3. Fresh design na ni light commercial vehicle. Cargo space ni kubwa na kama haitoshi iko foldable back seat for more space. Kamera ni mbili mbele na kamera ni mbili nyuma. Injini yako ni 1500cc. Nguvu na picking guaranteed. Hii itakuserve whether ni familia, biashara, camping, ita come through.
Fungua kitu. Fungua kitu. Fungua kitu. Fungua kitu. Wewe, saini saa ngapi unafungua hiyo gate? Ni watchman alikuwa anatoka na gari yake. Watchman? Ametoa gari wapi? Ya wasi amesinda kwa star 419 hash.
Iko Probox kwa star 419 hash option 3. Cheza safe, cheza smart. Gambling is addictive, not for persons under the age of 18 years.
Pole sana. Pole sana. Pole sana. Tuta make sure umesaidika. Kenyans, tushikane. Kizias ni wetu. Let's unite for this. It is painful. When he came, I shed tears when nilimuona. The last time I came in here, nilikuwa kuja kumtembelea, kuna vile anaendelea. She was okay. Kaanza biashara kidogo kidogo. But now, I saw the pictures yesterday, nikakuja leo. I want to confirm whether it is real. And it is now worse. It is painful. Kezia ni wetu. Kezia ni wangu, Kezia ni wako, si kama wa Kenya. Let's do what we can. Hinge tuachie Mungu.
Hata mwenye nyumba nimshukuru sana sababu wachawahi niambia hata toka uende uko na ujaripa nyumba yangu. Nilienda nikamwambia, akaniambia sasa hata nikikufukuza kwa hii nyumba sitakuja kukaa. kaa tu Mungu atatumanga. Wakati nilikuwa na nguvu, nilikuwa naenda tunafanya kazi na yeye, tunasaidiana. Sasa mwaka wote ndio shida ilianza, nikasikia hata ile majani na chuganga, siwezi nikabeba kigara. Tena hiyo kazi ni ngumu, lakini nilikuwa nimesema badala ya kuiba ama kufanya mambo mbaya, nichune hiyo majani. Hiyo ndio nilikuwa nachuna. Unachuna mtoto wako kwa mgongo, ukifika usiku umechoka, hata unashindwa ni kulala ama ni kukaa ukeshe ifike asubuhi. Sasa mimi nikakula shida. Sasa ndio nilikuwa nimeamua sasa badala ya kuua watoto, sasa niliona watu wanaua. Sasa hata mimi karibu nifike hapo, lakini nikasema acha nitembee na miguu. Na sikuenda njia ya kwetu, nichukua miguu yangu nikaenda mpaka Nyeri. Na hakuna mwenye Nairobi, hakuna mwenye alijua kwenye nimeenda. Nikashukuru sana kama ningesaidika nile watoto wangu kama mama wengine wenye wako na uzima.
Give it up for our champions. Give it up for them.
Hello, good people. This is Dr. Joseph Muremi, and this is Save a Life organization. What we do, we continue in transforming lives, and today we're in Eldoret. We continue to transform lives, and also we continue to partner with people who are transforming lives. Leo tuko Elview Vocational High School. They are doing amazing work, transforming lives, and personally, I'm happy. I'm here as a chief guest, celebrating what they are doing. And this is amazing. Listen to these great testimonies.
At Elview Vocational High School, children with special needs are nurtured towards their career paths.
My name is Lewis Wingi. I'm studying maths, music and art, reading and writing and speech. I'm doing aviation, Eldoret International Airport, Samaritan Path. We are in at Nairobi, how to meditate the drone operations, the Younger Aviators Club from Nairobi at the Kenya School of Flying, and the 748 Air Savers. Welcome aboard for Younger Aviators Club in Nairobi.
And you love it?
Yeah, I love it.
Each child has unique characteristics and a star shining so bright.
She believes in beauty. Beauty is not just how you look, it's how you carry yourself. Ray is a quiet, soft-spoken boy who often slips through the noise of the classroom like a shadow. He doesn't talk much. He's a high-spirited boy full of energy that shines brighter each day.
My name's Pauline Cheruto. Tumejaribu kunaja the talents that he has, because of course children with autism, our Malisi career, wafanya exam, they don't have that. So I realized he loves music. He can do DJing. This school imewasaidia sana, and I ask other parents out there, when you have a special child, it doesn't matter. Please take them to school, because school will help them a lot.
Kwa majina naitwa Florence Dawin. Tangu aingie kwa hii shule, milestone yake inaenda vizuri kwa sababu alipiki kujua kuoga, kujidress, kutengeneza bed, kupanguza. Wale wenye wako na chances za kutuofa huko nje, like internship, kazi ikipatikana, wakimaliza hapa wanatuofa hizo chances. Tunashindangwa tutapeleka watoto wapi kabisa from here.
My name is Joyce Kandia. My son is Lewis Wingi. Currently is doing aviation. He was nonverbal, he could not talk, but the institution has really helped us. He's improved in his speech, in his concentration. He was very hyper.
I want to
My goodness, this is a joy of, I can't even, words can't explain. Because at some point I was hopeless. I thought, oh, my child, I'm just done with him. He'll be staying at home. But right now, I see he has a future.
My name is Jeremiah Puske. I have a kid here who is now in year 4. He's able to do those maths. LVU has really tried. The teachers you see here and the institution, the director and all, have been very kind. There have been challenges of fees, obviously. For some of us, it's a bit tough. Yeah, because for these kids to be kept here, they need to be, there are so many things that need to be done to them. So how I wish, even as maybe the government or some organizations, UNICEF and all, could come to such a facility to see how they can be supportive so that the parents don't feel the burden.
My name is Rina Oyugi. I'm a teacher by profession. We receive children who have attained the age of 13 and they don't fit in the mainstream school or the mainstream high school. We start exposing them to different career areas like automotive engineering, creative art, like aviation, masonry, hairdressing, all those. Already it's a big success because 2 of them have 3 have been absorbed.
We are back in Nyeri County to visit Kezia, a young lady we had helped years back, only for the tumor to grow back lately.
Hello good people, this Save a Life. Na mimi nimefika hapa nikamwaga machozi. Nilikuwa na Kezia like 3 years ago. Alikuwa na tumor na tukuja tukamchukua tukapeleka hospitali Nairobi na akatolewa hiyo tumor. Na nakumbuka ilikuwa the third time kwa tunatoa hii tumor. But again the 4th time imerudi. And when I saw it imerudi kwa ubaya. When nimetembea nikamwaga machozi. How I left her and how she is.